door, Nico. Hey, it's that time, guys. Welcome to our apartment tour, or should I say our casita tour. Come on in, guys. So here, as you can see, it's just pretty simple and straight to the point, guys. This is our kitchen, our cooking area. So as you can see here, guys, we have the standard necessities. We have our microwave here. We have our gas stove. This is where I keep my spices. And as you can see, I have some knickknacks and snacks here. It's a standard size, full size fridge here. We do have a washer, which is very important to me. We're gonna share some additional thoughts later about some of the pros and cons, so stay tuned, guys. Here is our dining room area, guys. Part of the kitchen, perfect for me because I'm cooking and I'm chopping, works just fine. Here, of course, we have our little outlet. They got a phone. Our TV here, which is actually a swivel, by the way, guys. And our little pull-out futon couch. We actually put up these LED lights, guys. We like to have a little ambience at night when we're having a glass of wine. And we're gonna go spin around now, and we're gonna walk towards the bedroom. But in the meantime, I'm gonna show you the tile floor because this keeps it really nice and cool, especially during those hot months. Check it out, guys. So when somebody rings the intercom, you can actually use the phone to answer. We never use it, but it's there. So here we have some closet space. I'm not going to take you guys all the way in, but we have some hangers. We have some storage space here. We'll mention some thoughts about the storage space in this unit in a bit. And come on into the bedroom. Again, guys, we put up these LED lights for a little ambiance. We have our little standard night stand table here. This is my makeshift curtain. You guys have seen my old video, and I told you guys I was gonna make a makeshift curtain. I have part of it in the kitchen. This was an extra piece, and it helps keep out the sun here, but doesn't make it too dark. All right, guys, let's go ahead and spin around and head on back out towards the hallway, and we'll take you on out to the patio. So, before we go to the patio, guys, let's head on in to the last spot, which is the bathroom. All right, you know how we do, guys. We show you everything, the good, the bad, the not so pretty. So the not so pretty. So guys, I want to show you the ceiling a bit, the hot water tank there. I'll go ahead in a moment and open up the shower, and I'll show you the inside. Nothing fancy, guys, just the basics. But we'll give you some thoughts here. So as you can see, this is our little storage here in the bathroom as well. And let's go on out to the patio. And guys,
before we go out to the patio, guys, I want to mention that you need a fan over here. in the casita over in Mexico in general, while you're living in Mexico, you will need a fan. So we recommend you either have someone supply you a fan or you go out and purchase a fan. That's a must over here in Mexico.
We put this netting up on both front and back doors, and it helps keep the mosquitoes out so we can get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, before we go to the patio, I forgot something important. You guys, I didn't show you the this mini split AC unit. This actually was not here when we moved in. We mentioned how hot it was during those hot months when we had first arrived here to the unit, and the landlady was very nice and she offered to put that in there. But we'll share some thoughts about that as well. All right, guys, let's go on out to the patio.
All right, take you guys out here to the patio. It's a little small space. As you see the grill right there. Get down on the grill. You know, we cooked some. Wifey cooked up some steaks the other day. We had a steak salad with steak, strawberries, blue cheese.
Yeah, it was good. And a homemade balsamic honey Dijon mustard vinaigrette, which was really good.
Yep. And this is the patio where we come out here, chill out at the table right here. We come out here, drink some wine, may sit out here and eat a little lunch or whatever. But these mosquitoes over here, mosquitoes over here pretty bad, man. That's why we invested in getting those mosquito nets right there. But yeah, it's a cool little spot.
We actually enjoy the views of both the palm tree here and these
other
trees
we have the palm trees right there. We love watching them sway, and we sit out here and we go deep in thought. You know, we talk a lot out here. We just sit around and talk about our next move. We
so
talk
about appreciation for the simplicity of this.
Simplicity over here. Yeah, we just sit around how appreciative it is, how we are, how appreciative we are to be over here in Mexico, and the it's kind of like the fear that people have, and we both have our own fears of making that jump. We made that jump. You know, that's why we came with the name. My wife mostly came with the name. Why not now? So that's what we always try to push for you guys. We try to encourage you guys. We try to inspire you guys, and we just showing you guys everything that we encounter with our own eyes. We're showing you that anything is possible. You can go out here, you can live, and just enjoy life. And make sure you check out that cost of living in Mexico video, guys. It was dropped already, so make sure you check that video out. That's a very informative video. Yeah, so this is our casita.
We give you the actual cost of this casita, and we explain to you the details of what that includes, so definitely check out that video. And we also had an older cost of living video when we lived in Milenio, Querétaro, which was a year ago. For those of you who already know, we've been living here for a solid year. We have our temporary residency here, so we have a plethora of information on our videos, from neighborhood tours to how to get your temporary residency to how to hook up utilities and so on and so forth. But let's go ahead and touch back with you guys in 2 seconds. All right, guys, we're back. So let's talk about some of the pros and the cons of our casita here, our apartment, as well as our immediate area. So we'll start off with the pros first.
My first pro for me, the cost of it, the affordability of it. That's a major pro in not just my book, in our book, and that's what we always push for. Find something that's reasonably priced that you can afford
within your budget.
And within your budget, and it works for you. And for us, this works. This worked for us. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, just like something you get in the States, where you're paying $1,000 for or whatever for. Just trying to compare it to that because I live there. But yeah, in the city of Querétaro, Mexico, I think this is actually a fairly reasonable price for all in services included and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely, because when we lived in, as I mentioned earlier, Milenio, we did pay about $100 and something more, and we were stating at that time we were trying to get out of the Airbnb situation, so we did take that place, and that apartment was a little bit more modern, a little bit bigger, but this was more within our budget. So definitely check out that cost of living video, guys. It will talk about a detailed cost about what our expenses are here in Santiago de Querétaro, Mexico. Yep. Another pro would be, for me, I feel, is even though it's an older looking unit, I really enjoy the privacy that we have. Now, although we are kind of connected here to our landlord, she has a bigger house here, we don't have anybody above us. We're not living in an apartment building as we did in our last rental. We've been here now for at least, I want to say 7-8 months, and you know, honestly, other than an occasional party from the next door apartment complex, it's really quiet at night. I get to hear the crickets in the morning. I hear the birds. I love that. I get to sit out here in the patio and watch the butterflies. I'm all about having that quiet time, that just to come out here and maybe grill a burger or have a glass of wine. So for me, this is just enough, and I'm sure for my husband as well, to just have what we need and that enjoyment.
Yeah, I second that. It's very enjoyable. We have our privacy. As you see, the bushes, the hedges, it separates us. Apartment building, whatever it may be over that way, but you rarely hear any noise, anything over here. The neighborhood is very quiet, and we enjoy living in this neighborhood. Also,
the neighborhood is, I would say, fairly safe. Now, we do get, I'll talk about that more later, but we do have occasional, we have a missionary that's not too far from our place, so you do see the occasional homeless people walking through, but quite honestly, I mean, you know, they don't bother us, and actually we talk to some of them, and
exactly.
We actually have one that has knocked on our door. We make him tacos sometimes, and we give him things, but he's harmless. So other than that, neighborhood is pretty safe. We can pretty much access anything we want to within, I think if we walk pretty fast, we can get down to Centro Histórico in about 15 minutes, give or take. And that's perfect because I don't like being in the middle of all the noise necessarily. So I don't want to live in the middle of Centro Histórico, but I like it where I like the fact that where we are is quiet, off the beaten path. But then whenever we do want to go down there and check out an event or something, we can take a nice stroll there, a nice walk there.
As we bled into the third pro, the first one was the cost, the second one was the privacy that we have. The third one is the accessibility to things. Yes, like my wife was saying, the convenience. We have stores all around us. We could walk to Walmart. We could walk to Soriana, Mega Soriana. We could walk to those places. And
it's about a 25-minute walk.
Yeah, about a 25-minute walk. But when you're trying to lug grocery back, it becomes a problem. But that's when you get the Uber. But we've done it before, so everything is walkable, and that's what we enjoy. We don't want to be in the middle of the center, like my wife was saying, but we right on the outskirts of it, and we're right there on it. And to us, that's perfect.
And also, I would say that the unit provides all that we need. You know, we have a washing machine. You know, we have everything that we need. We have a separate bedroom. You know, we have all those basic things. So for me, I feel like that's a pro. Like, it has everything that I need. It's simple, straight to the point, but it gives us everything that we need, and we're not truly lacking anything that is, you know, an immediate need, I will say.
Yeah, we have fast internet. We just have everything we need. There's
Basic
nothing we can say.
cable.
Yeah, basic cable. There's nothing that we can say that's. We're gonna get into the cons, but other than that, like, it works for us. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, guys.
Just a 1-bedroom apartment, guys. So it gives us everything that we need. Okay,
Yeah.
so now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the cons, and we're gonna be a little bit more detailed. So it's gonna sound longer, only because we want to go ahead and give an accurate description of within the apartment and whatnot. So the cons, I would say, for me, is it doesn't have an oven. So I have, you know, I don't need an oven. So I have my four top burner, which is fine, but I don't have an oven. So whenever, like, I wanted to bake something, obviously that would be different. I actually have made a cake stovetop, guys. So you know, you can make it happen. So occasionally I'll miss having the oven to bake something.
Yeah, I miss my chocolate chip cookie dreams. Sometimes I have those dreams with those soft baked chocolate chip cookies in the oven. But yeah, we make it work, and a nice lasagna and stuff like that. My wife would be cooking. But yeah, we make it work. We make it work.
Actually, I forgot to mention another pro, guys. Another pro is that it came completely furnished. So
I forgot about that.
So the price includes it's a furnished place. Even though that you know, that the furnishings maybe look a little bit older, it's a furnished place, so it has everything that we need.
Yep.
Okay. So now another con, would you say?
Con, I would get into the con since we said it's furnished. The con of, to me, the couch that we have in there.
And think about, and he's a 6-foot guy, so
it's not that comfortable, not that comfortable at all. That's something that if you were living here long term, if you continue to live here long term, you can go out and buy you a couch. Prices vary over here in this city, Querétaro, Mexico. I noticed furniture is a little bit more pricier, you know, but you can go out and get you some furniture to replace that, and that'll solve that problem. It's just more of you invest in that, like I said, long term. If you plan on staying at this one place for 2-3 years or however long you stay, that can work for you.
Another con would be, I would say, the airflow. Given how the casita, this casita is situated, we don't get a whole lot of airflow, and then we have to keep the front door open, which again, it's a main street, so people are walking by all the time, and then we have to keep the back door open. We do have that netting on front and back to try to keep the mosquitoes out. But when it was really warm and we weren't getting a breeze, it gets really, really hot in here. I mean, extremely like a sweat box.
Yeah, it
so
does.
That's definitely a con. Another con, I would say, is the bathroom. The bathroom is an eyesore. You guys saw it. There's old wallpaper. There's kind of like some dark looking stained kind of around the water tank. And then occasionally, although we have hot water, no problem, occasionally it's happened a couple times since we lived here where the pilot would go out and my husband would have to relight it to get the hot water to come back on. It's an older system.
It's an older unit. It's a smaller water tank. In our previous apartment, when we were living in Millennial, like what my wife was saying, it was more of a modern place, had a larger water tank. So it's kind of, it's a workaround. It's not that bad. You get used to it. You'll be able to get you a nice, how many minute hot shower, warm shower?
I mean, I don't know. When I have pretty long hair, and when I wash my hair, I'm in there for like 20 minutes, and I'm fine for the most part, I would say.
You'll get a good consistent couple of minutes of warm water, then it may go cold a little bit.
That's kind of going into a con again, isn't it, guys? As you can see, we're kind of like freestyling it and just talk. We didn't have it like, we don't have it like number one, number two set up. We're just kind of talking, and it comes as it comes to mind. Another con, would you say, would be, I'll say another con is, and for me, I enjoy it because we actually lived in Lexington, Kentucky for like a year, and we used to have a railroad nearby, and I would hear like the faint whistle of the train going by, and I don't know, I just like that. But here, we live not too far from the railroad track, so if you don't like hearing that at night, it's not like right at the back of our place, but it's probably like maybe I would say about a couple blocks away.
Yeah, it's a couple
you
blocks
can
away.
hear it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't bother me. I mean, to me it's comforting. So it just depends on, you know, your personality and if that bothers you or not. So that could be a con, in that it's a noise factor in the wee hours of the night or morning, and also, as I mentioned before, it does bring about some homelessness. There are people who do sleep by the train tracks and travel and hitch a ride on the, because it's like a freight type of train.
Yeah.
So that's one thing
Yeah,
to
but
keep in mind.
you become used to it. You become used to the train, become used to the dogs barking, you become used to the people coming by, the gas men or whatever, yelling their sounds, the aguaciel, the whistles, the blah. You become accustomed, you become used to those things. So that's pretty much.
Honestly, when we're saying cons, these things don't really, they don't bother us, but we have to talk about some of the negatives that to other people may be perceived as negative. So it's more so for you guys than it is for us, to be honest with you. Any other cons that you can think of?
I can't really think of any other cons. It's just more of certain things that we become used to. Like, for example, we have a washer. It's supposed to be a washer-dryer combo, but the dryer suck. And that's normal.
Which is not, it's not the problem.
That's kind of a normal thing. In our other unit, though, we had a dryer, and it will work. It would just take a longer time. But yeah, you just get a drying rack, and you put your clothing on there. That can be a con. It's not even a con. It's an inconvenience. But like my wife was saying, we just mentioning these things out. But overall, though, this place, it works for us. It fit our criteria, fit everything that we like. It's perfect for us. That's
honestly, for the price that we are paying, and as well as with the walkability factor, and to be far away enough from the noise, but then still close enough. That's really what you're paying for. And for us, it works perfectly. We haven't had any. And when we had major issues, I'll be honest with you, the one thing that was a major issue that I would say is a true con for us. The one thing is when we had rain season. There were actually a few times that the landlord was trying to remediate a problem. They were trying to correct this problem, but water, it was so bad, and this was happening to everybody. This is like, honestly, like something we shouldn't even complain about, I feel, because people actually had true flooding, but we were getting some water that was coming in from the base of our walls in the living room.
Coming in through the house,
we were getting a lot of water, and we were having to like be up all hours of the night cleaning it. But then eventually, when they figured out the problem was next door to the apartment complex, they were able to seal that off after 3 and 4 tries of trying to figure out where the water was coming from. She had completely fixed the problem, and no water came in at all, even when it rained really heavy. So that was one thing that truly was a concern. But it's really, it's called Mother Nature. You can't control that. Things happen.
There's nothing you can really do about it. So guys, I don't want to make this a long video, but I think we pretty much gave you guys the breakdown, the gist of everything. We has shown you guys the inside of the casita. To us, it's a nice casita. It does the job. Located beautifully. We love the way it's located. Where it's located, we can walk. It's pretty quiet, private, all those things. And the cons are really not truly cons. It's just more of like somewhat of an inconvenience. But that's pretty much it, But that's why I mentioned like about the fan. Make sure you get the fan, because the airflow, it's always wise to find a spot with good airflow. But if you can't, get you a fan or the mini split, and just know that certain things may come with it. That's it.
Right. And guys, before we go, I want to remind you again, I mentioned this in our cost of living video. I'm going to say it again, guys, because we are on our way out the door, meaning we are moving from Querétaro. We are going to be going to a new and soon to be disclosed city, guys. It's going to be a surprise when we arrive there, but we're going to be releasing a few videos still here in Querétaro before we're officially have left the city. Things that are overdue, actually, cost of living, renewal of temporary residency, obviously this apartment tour, and a few others that we want to get out to you guys, that we promised you guys. So we are working hard to get that out to you guys. So make sure you check out our last video, which was farewell or goodbye to Querétaro, because that's going to explain a little bit about why we decided to leave Querétaro, and keep you guys who are new up to date on the process and following our journey. So we hope you guys appreciated this, that it gave you some information. As always, guys, we give you the meat and potatoes. I mean, we're going to be honest with you guys. So that's why you guys follow us, for that reason. So please help us out by giving us a like, and comment if you have any questions, and share your thoughts about if you're living in Mexico and what you're paying, and some of the experiences you had that were good and bad. So as always, guys, we'll end this video as usual. Live the life that you're meant to live. Keep a grateful heart.
And remember, why not now? All right, guys. Peace.